EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. 3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions.
No, 2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 15 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to... Kamara has it stripped, and the Raiders pick it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here we go. March 47.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Right there, 56. Let's go, Ty. Let's go right here now. 56.
Looking to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
22's coming, Mike. That's a screen.
They'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56.
Back to throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The throw over the middle taken in. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Back to throw.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. You remember me?
2nd and 2. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
No, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end, Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rosen, the product of Jersey City, to hear Whitehead on the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And the pressure gets to him again. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over. But he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Second and 3. Throwing left side, it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Kamara. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. He won't go down. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll look to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rosen saying, let's go, guys, faster. Clock is running here. After the sack on 1st down, Rosen. Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football. The 20. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. But now it's Rosen looking, and he's going to go down again. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime and make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 2nd and 5. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was a long pass attempt downfield, and the ball was popped up in the air. And how come things go from really fast to almost slow motion when the ball's up in the air and the defender's unable to haul it in before it hits the ground?
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Switch. Check three. Trump.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, Let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head up to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Running is Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. And quickly they get to the line. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. On third down, it's Jacobs. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now there's a quarterback rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now it's Rosen. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Oh, shifty! Whoa! A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The offense is going to stay out there. They've converted twice, failed once so far on 4th down. Let's see what's in store here.
Check 50. 56 to Mike.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down. He'll drop to throw. There goes a deep ball in, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The fade route, that seems to be becoming more and more popular in the NFL. What makes it a success?
When you have an athletic, acrobatic receiver who knows how to go up and get the football, all you're asking your quarterback to do is put it up there where he can get it and no one else. Very difficult to defend.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Rosen. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
He's coming, double up. He's coming, double up. Like 50, running.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got it at the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 35. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Oh, yeah!
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory.
Slam, slam, slam.
They'll run it with Jacobs. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. They'll look to throw, and this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Third and long here for Rosen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And this is caught at the 8. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
56, check 56.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Kill, 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 kill. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton